GBM itself is available both 1 year or 2 years and different depending on which college you choose. Conestoga has it for 1 year, and after I've done the course, I'm actually.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Immigrant. If it's your first time, my name is Sagar, and on this channel I bring individuals from various academic and professional backgrounds to help you with your decision to study or work in Canada. In today's video we have Michelle, who did her post-graduation diploma in Global Business Management from Conestoga College, and in conversation with her we'll find out why she took this one-year program, what are the admission requirements, is it hard studying Global Business Management, what's the scope of this in the future, and should you go for 1 year or a 2-year program? Michelle is currently enrolled in Supply Chain Management as a second program after completing Global Business Management, which is covered in a separate video that I will be uploading very soon. Having said that, without any further ado, let's dive into our today's video. Hi Michelle, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining.
Hi Sagar, thanks so much for inviting me.
To begin with, if you can introduce yourself to our viewers.
Sure. Hi, my name's Michelle, and I've come here as an international student, and it's been more than a year, almost 1.5 years now. I finished one program that's Global Business Management, and right now I'm pursuing Supply Chain Management.
And if you can also tell us about your educational background.
Yeah, sure. So I've done electronics and communication back home, and after that I've had not a lot of work experience, but enough, but not in my field. I've never been into my field, and so kind of switched out of it.
Right. So as you mentioned that you did bachelor's in electronics and communications, my question is, what made you think of pursuing global business management?
Well, I did electronics and communication, and I wasn't a big fan of it. Like back in India, there's a lot of peer pressure. Well, for me, it wasn't really peer pressure, but it was me pressurizing myself where I wanted to be as good as others. And it looked like electronics and communication was like evergreen and everything. And so I jumped into it, and only later did I realize that I have zero interest in it. But then I had elective subjects of management, and I wanted to switch towards those kind of subjects, and that's why I chose GBM, and that's why I wanted to just completely move away from a technical background and jump to what I like.
And how did you end up getting into Conestoga College?
I think I applied for this and Sheridan and I guess Centennial, but I never got a response from Centennial. Sheridan I did. It's much expensive than Conestoga, and also I had my Conestoga's offer letter I received it much before I received Sheridan.
Now, if you can share us the admission requirements, the admission process, how it works. I mean, it's different for each course, each program, and each colleges. But from your experience doing global business management from Conestoga College, if you can share the admission process with us.
Yeah, sure. So as far as I remember, when not just me, I think a lot of students are really scared to do it themselves, because it may be a mentality thing that we want it done right. We don't want to make mistakes, and so I choose to go to an agency. Luckily for me, my agency was free, of course. So it's IDP, and you get assigned an agent, and this agent applies for you, and that's how I applied for GBM. The requirements, as far as I know, is you need, I think, 55% in your bachelor's. You should have a bachelor's or a 2 to 3 years of a diploma course. So if you're fresh out of 12th grade, you cannot apply for this course. You need to have 2 to 3 years of a diploma or a bachelor's degree, an engineering degree. Also, you need to qualify it with a 55% of your final. So that's the requirement. You also have to have this IELTS. It's an English proficiency test. So you have to have an overall band of 6. So there's like 4 categories in IELTS that you have. So the overall average of it is supposed to be 6.
And from your experience again, did you find it hard studying global business management in Canada? I mean,
well, the program has 7 subjects each semester. So it might be a little hectic because they're trying to finish a lot in one semester, because I see like uh, some of the technical courses they have 4 subjects in a semester, and they even divide that semester into 2 parts. Whereas with management, I had all 7 subjects together. It was, I would say, because it was my first time in Conestoga, maybe a little hectic. It's hectic, but it's not difficult, if you know what I mean. Like, it consumes a lot of time of yours because of the 7 subjects that spread throughout the week. But it's not difficult. I mean, all you have to do is just follow the instructions. I mean, if your professor says 10 pages assignment, give him 10 pages assignment, and just make it relevant to what he asks for, and I think you are good. Just be punctual and submit on time, and I don't think it should be a big deal.
And so, talking about the assignments as well, do you used to get a lot of assignments?
Yes, that I'm sure of. Like, I don't see a lot of other courses having as many assignments as I do. Like, I used to stay with, I mean, I still do stay with a lot of different kind of people because we're students and I can't afford a whole house. So I do see that they don't have a lot of assignments like I do, the kind of reports that I have to make, or the kind of research that I have to do to just finish an assignment. I don't see anyone doing that much. Uh, but again, yeah, there's a lot of assignments, but it's not at all impossible. Can do it.
And I mean,
There
this is
is group work that is
okay.
a little hard. When you're doing something yourself, it's much easier. But when there's group work, maybe coordination is what is the toughest part of global business management.
And this is a question that comes up a lot of times, that can you manage your part-time job if you have a part-time job with your assignments and programs? So what do you want to say about that?
Of course, you can manage because, I mean, I get it that we all are from most, at least not all, I wouldn't say all, but most of your viewers mostly would be Indians. And for us, we're not really used to doing a part time job. It hasn't really been in our culture. In the beginning, the part time job itself was a little hard, but part-time and job, I mean, studying and part-time is not a big deal as long as you always have your priority set straight. Your priority should always be your studying, because that kind of leads you to your career. So you want to give your schedule to the your employer based on your timetable and not vice versa.
No, that's a very good point. That you the first priority should be your studies. That's why you're here, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly, that's why we're here.
Yeah, and the career side of it, talking about the career side. So, what do you think is the scope of global business management in the future? Like, where do you see yourself after doing your program? Or do you think people, irrespective of their background, their work experience, or education, can leverage from the program?
Yes, so I have spoken to a few graduates, and all I get to hear from them is that their experience or their grades didn't matter as much. The grades only mattered because that's a way to get the interview. Maybe your coordinator or your teachers recommend based on your grades. But after that, when an employer looks at you or is interviewing you, sometimes, I mean, there are, they require a job experience. But when it comes to global business management, every company, every organization is trying to globalize. I mean, globalization is how the world runs. Like, no country is within working just within their country. There's a lot of, like, Coca-Cola can't just be in the US, it's everywhere. So if it has to run in another country, they need a person, a graduate from GBM, to understand the market of another country, or to explain to this organization what another country requires and how it should run in any place other than its home country. And so that's why I do think that from a career standpoint, the program's very fetching when it comes to jobs. You don't have to worry about having experience and stuff, because I feel that people are looking for global business graduates. It's just that you need to show them that you're willing to learn and you're willing to apply what you learned.
But what I'm getting so far, it's global business management, right? It's but it's still a general course. It's not specific to a sector, like a specific sector, banking or let's say IT.
Well, you are right. It has a lot of courses in it. Like I would say, I've learned trade law. That means I know when you go to import and export, what are the laws that you have to follow. I've done HRM, that is human resource, how to hire and work ethics, and so I've done marketing. I've done a mixture of everything, including business analysis and data research and stuff like that. Uh, a global business graduate won't be a global business graduate if he doesn't know everything. Like I said, this person is going to help you do business in another, globally. It's trying to spread your business globally. And so this person should have a good knowledge about everything. May not be extreme knowledge in something, but enough knowledge in all fields so that they can actually help you and your organization to globalize.
So, Michelle, what advice would you like to give to people who are planning to take 1 year program? Do you think is it worth just taking 1 year program?
So GBM itself is available both 1 year or 2 years and different depending on which college you choose. Conestoga has it for 1 year. And after I've done the course, I'm actually glad that it was for 1 year because I feel like I'm having a chance to do another program in my next year, which gives me more knowledge than somebody else who is doing it for 2 years, doing the same program for 2 years. The difference is the person who's doing the GBM for 2 years definitely will have more knowledge than I would. Uh, but it's a choice. It's a matter of choice. Like the fact it was totally I would say it was a luck thing that I got it for a year. That I chose a year's program. If Conestoga had it for 2 years, I would have never done supply chain after it. But fortunately, it was 1 year, and that gives me a chance to do another course. And from all the different fields that GBM had, I chose supply chain because it interested me. Plus, GBM kind of gave me that a base for choosing what subject I wanted to do my next year. So that's why those who want to take the course for 2 years, not a big deal, no problem, go for it. Those who want to do it for 1 year, go for it, because either ways, the fee you're paying, if from this fee point of view, will be the same. Each program costs around $16,000. So if I were to do GBM 2 years, I would pay $16,000 in my first year and $16,000 in my second year. And now that I'm doing GBM and supply chain, I'm paying the same amount. So it kind of depends on your priorities, what you want. If you want a job as a global business graduate itself, take the 2 year program. Not a big deal.
Alright guys, that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Michelle has her own YouTube channel called Amazingly Enough with a lot of useful content that's worth checking out. Do support her channel by hitting the subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up if you find it helpful. Comment below for any questions or suggestions for myself. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more content like this. I wish you guys all the best. Stay safe, stay strong, and I'll see you in the next one.